Hello, Taurus, and welcome to your October 2016 reading. As always, you can use this for your sun, for your rising, and for your moon. I hope that everybody's retrograde cycle was okay. I know that can always be challenging and may cause a little bit of stress, but the good news is it's over, and I really want to focus on what you can do this month to allow for things to be easier, for things to be more successful. Let's see here. Every time I do a video, I meditate, and I call it channeled information because as I'm shuffling, I usually get a clear image, word, or something to talk to you guys about. And when I was shuffling for you this month, it was very much a verb, not just a word. It's an active word, create. So what I really want to encourage you to do is physically, or it's really physically, somehow work on something in your life to bring you closer to your goals and your dreams. So some of you, maybe you want to start a new business. This would be to create a business plan. Some of you may have always dreamed about being like an Olympian. So it's about creating a workout routine. Whatever it is to bring you just one step closer to your dream, I want you to physically and literally start to put pen to paper and actually get out there and do something. It's an active word. October should be a very active month for you, and I didn't get any sort of vision of you sleeping and relaxing. So hopefully that's good news. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the cards. We'll pull a catalyst card to see how you can create and how that's going to be a benefit. And then we're going to look at your Celtic cross for this month to see what other information is coming through. And for those of you that are new, I always pull a catalyst at the beginning, and then I look at the very end, I'll expand it to include health, wealth, love, and destiny. So, for some of you, your key to be more successful this month is it says it's time to leave an unhealthy situation in your life. So whether that's a relationship, a job, or even like a way of living, perhaps giving up something that's causing your body to not be as healthy as it could be, or you're just feeling stressed out. Not only do you have permission here, but also encouragement to let go, to release, okay? And what you can do in advance of that is, again, to sort of think about what is your plan B? What are you going to do? Create that sort of plan of attack, that safety net, so that you're not just going out there without a plan, okay? So let's see what else is coming through for you this month. Love is something we'll talk about quite a bit because it came up at the middle for you. Well, I get a definite feeling that many of you are ready to go a little bit deeper in your relationships, because this is a beautiful illustration of the Ace of Cups. Whenever I see the dove on this too, it usually indicates prayer, meditation, desire, but desire in a sort of soul level. So I can see a lot of you have been hoping to have maybe that which you see a lot of your friends or family members having, a long-term relationship or marriage, or really finding a deeper love. This isn't just about meeting someone who you have a fling with. This is about rich, deep love. What's curious, or what's interesting as I look at some of the cards here, is there's been some challenges for many of you. Sometimes what's happening for many of you is when I see the Devil card, this is about timing and availability. So a lot of times when this card comes up, it means you might meet someone who you really have an affinity towards, but they're not available. They're in a relationship, or vice versa. And so if that's the case, you've got to pay attention to that and think, is it worth pushing past these boundaries, these either relationship boundaries or cultural boundaries or whatever it is, because this card is usually tricky to overcome. And what I'm seeing here is that for some of you, your partner, if you're in a relationship already, could be coming down a little bit critically on you, or the communication could be a little tricky this month, because we have the Queen of Swords and it's crossed by the Lovers, and the Queen of Swords reversed usually means difficult communication, overly direct. So what I would say is, overall in your relationships, you want to, and this is a theme that I'm seeing in a few different signs this month, but you really want to temper the way you speak and really try to be empathetic with what the other person is feeling. If any of you are in a relationship with an air sign, Maybe it's a Libra on this. That's what I'm getting. A lot of times that comes through as a Queen of Swords. It can be, though, it can be Libra, it can be Gemini, and it can also be Aquarius. But if you have an air sign and very critical, you want to be careful and ask yourself, is this really what I want to be in? Because they may not be available completely. It just may not be a great match for you. So that's one bit of caution. You guys are coming through this month as a little bit more sort of like strong-willed. And so what could be happening here between you and your partner this month is one person being a little bit more outspoken, one person having very strong feelings but not always being able to express it. So this is a great month to try to sort of like steer clear of arguments and blow-ups unless you feel like you need to release that. That's where creativity may be a great sort of like channel for some of the frustration. But what I'm seeing here for those of you that are looking to resolve it is this basically boils down to how much energy you want to put into the relationship. So right now I feel like it's a little bit imbalanced for some of you, and we really want to get you to a place of balance. And the other thing is, I feel like your efforts this month could be better placed towards the very end for certain, but I would even say at the beginning, you might want to focus more on work and endeavors of money, because it seems like many of you are starting to get a better handle on that. This is usually a card that shows gradual but definite improvement when it comes to finances. So acknowledgement of debts, paying down some bills, understanding what it is that you need to be spending your time and energy on. And this is about balancing that out. And this is about reaping the rewards on that, possibly going back and getting some training, going to school, following a dream maybe that you haven't had a chance to do. All of these things seem to be a much better use of your time and energy, and they are right around this Ace of Cups. So if you're in a present situation and you want to release it and move on, you might actually be able to take that passion. If you look here at the center that's being tied up, because the Devil is a card of like being constricted a little bit. So a lot of your creative energy is stuck here in the relationship. You let go of that. All of a sudden, your work life and your school life and everything with your productivity could actually start to improve. So if someone's not available, if they're treating you harshly, if you're feeling like the energy is not returning to you, it's not an equal sort of relationship, then I would encourage you to either release that or really spend more of your time and energy on basically being successful in your life. And then you can, when you have a chance, take a look back and see, is this person really what I want? So with the Devil being the crowning card, the Devil is all about questions of honesty, how free you feel, questions of freedom, and then also availability. So in your relationship areas, if you're not feeling appreciated, free, if you're not feeling like the other person is returning or being honest, then what you need to do is think, is this really worth my time and effort? Two other notes for this month. This is a great time to look at everything in your life. We're not just talking about this one person, and see what are you really still getting enjoyment out of. A lot of times we end up committing ourselves to a lot of things, and they may be great causes too. So maybe you're volunteering, and maybe you're doing a carpool for work, and also at work you could have taken on additional projects just to help out a coworker. But slowly these things start to add up, so that all of a sudden what started off as you having a big heart and doing something because you wanted to do it could end up just being like, why am I so tired? Why is everyone asking for help all the time? And you start to lose track of yourself, and it's no longer feeling good. So if that's the case, it might be time to look at saying no, pushing some things off to the next month, delegating, all of that. With the Six of Wands in reverse, the one thing that I'm getting with this one, particularly with this illustration, is to protect yourself. So this is a great time to look at your insurance and see if the insurance is enough for your family, if you need life insurance. Also in regards to money and financial security, making sure that if there's anyone in your life that you feel like you don't trust, being very careful about allowing them access to your finances and things like that. So just being cautious. Keep an extra eye on all things related to money and material stability, your house as well. Just take a look at things, make sure that again, I'm getting like insurance. And then the other thing with work is just to protect your best interests. Sometimes you could get pulled into a situation that suits somebody else's best interests. That's why we have this. And you could end up getting into a messy situation. So I'm going to encourage you this month to do things that make sense for you. But if you start to get that sort of tinge inside and think, I don't think so, that doesn't feel right, then don't do it. Okay? Let's expand your forecast and see what's coming through for health, wealth, love, and destiny. So give it a quick shuffle and we'll see what your health card is this month. So for many of you, your biggest challenge is mental stress and worry. I really want you to find some ways to let go of that. It could be through the arts, any type of art, whether it's going to the theater, whether it's actually acting, but doing something creative, and that's something that's been a trend for many signs this month. But it might also help to seek some help if you need to talk to a counselor and get their advice. Feel free to do that. Let's take a look now at wealth, which includes career opportunities and other things that could bring happiness to your life. But for wealth, what I want you to try to do is to focus on the positive. As I said, this is a card of financial improvement and recovery. And so this card says sad embrace. So if there was something where you look back on the past and you think, oh, if I had put more money into this investment, or if I had put more in my 401k, or if I'd taken this job, or, if. No more of that. Focus on what to do next, how great you're doing in general, because I'm not seeing issues here with money. I'm actually seeing a lot of financial growth that can come through this month. So with that in mind, you're not doing awful. Even if you're feeling sort of frustrated with the progress, this is saying you still have potential this month. So feel free to ask some people for help, but for this one, don't focus on the past so much. Focus on how to be better in the future. That's really your advice for finances. So now let's take a look at health, wealth. Let's look at love and relationships. And acceptance. This is a beautiful card. And with acceptance, that could be acceptance of availability or unavailability. Also acceptance of someone who, just knowing that maybe this isn't the right person for you, things like that. This is also self-acceptance, because love does not have to be just relationships. It is the relationship between you, yourself, your confidence. And so this is accepting who you are, being beautiful as who you are, and it's about self-love, really. So rather than looking in the mirror and thinking, I wish I could change this, this, and this, thinking, thank God I'm still able to do this, and I'm really happy that I have this. Try to turn it around and think about the things that are actually really great about you, and then work with those. Because the interesting thing is, a lot of times people pick up on, there may be a beautiful person, but they have no sense of their own beauty, and they come off as someone who you don't want to be around because there's something off in their energy. And there may be someone who is not extraordinarily like a model type, but they're just a beautiful person and you can't wait to be with them. So focus on really loving yourself, loving people around you, and that's going to make you happier, and it will make your relationships easier. Whether you're in one, whether you're seeking one, or just spending some time with yourself watching Netflix, life will be better. So focus a little bit on accepting who you are, and then focusing on what you want to do with your life. And not thinking that if I was more of this, then that person would love me. Then if they don't love you now, changing this one thing about yourself doesn't make them a better partner, or doesn't mean that you're missing out on something. It just means that there might be some other purpose, something else that you could be doing, and that this may not be the right match. Okay? Now let's take a look at your destiny card. What I like about this is it's a hint of what's to come. It's a hint of the month ahead, but it's something that you can absolutely control. So what I see with this is it's a card of being free. And what I see with this also, when we're looking at like your just general advice for being more active. For those of you that have never tried sort of like running or physical activity, a sport, this could be a great month to take that up. Swimming, running, volleyball, although we're kind of getting out of the summer seasons now, but something where you're really getting your whole body in motion, that would be great. Swimming is a great low impact exercise, and I definitely get that vibe here. Yeah, that's it. All right, so let's go ahead and not expand, but sum up everything since there was a lot to take in. We'll start first with the cards. Looking at everything here, I really want you to be careful in relationships this month. You may be getting involved with people that either have an ulterior motive or might not be freely or readily available. So that means they may have an attachment to another person or something that's holding them back and not allowing them to be fully present with you. Communication is something you really want to pay attention to in regards to your relationships. And if this person's not being direct, it's another red flag. But when you're trying to communicate with them or with other people in your life, try to temper your directness. You can still be honest, but try not to be too honest, like to the point that it's off-putting. So you'll find that happy medium. Really focusing and thinking what you want to be spending your time and energy on. There's two cards here about prioritization and about saying no. Protecting your welfare, your well-being, and your assets. So looking at insurance, also being careful of who you trust with your money. Very important. Keep making good decisions with your money. I see financial improvement for many of you this month, and it should continue to get to a better place for you. It should improve. Try not to go overboard on big ticket items. It is a great month to look at education and training opportunities. And I do see love coming in through activities and work. So focusing less on where you're at in your relationships and more where you could go. If this isn't suiting you, you could actually find someone new by doing what you're passionate about. Your general advice, channeled advice this month was to be creative, to literally create an action plan, create a plan B, figure out what it is that you need to be doing. Your catalyst this month was to let go of something that's not working. And with the Devil card, these two go hand in hand. If something is feeling wrong and you haven't been able to fix it, sometimes you can't. Sometimes the best way to improve it is to release it, to let it go. For health, basically taking away that which is bringing you all your worry. It could be the relationship. It could also be something habitual in your life. Like this can also come up for addiction. So if you're trying to get over smoking or trying to get over drugs or an addiction to sex or whatever it is, this is a month where seeking out some assistance with that and then allowing yourself just to gently move away from that pattern will help, because I see a lot of you could be worrying about it. Otherwise, if it's work-related stress, finding maybe a creative outlet for that will be very beneficial. For money, focusing on potential in the future rather than any perceived losses or failures in the past. They were just lessons. It's okay. Self-acceptance, self-love, celebrating your own uniqueness is really going to be key to you finding love yourself with other people. And then finally, this is a great month for you to get out in the world, to be physically active. And I see it's not just movement, but it's like high octane movement could be really good for you. Or if you want to do more low impact, you could still get a lot of this sort of fluidity through surrounding yourself in some sort of a sport that involves like swimming, water, being in the ocean. So what is that? Surfing. So surfing, swimming, anything that is going, and it's a very cleansing activity as well, particularly if you can get into the sea, because it's almost like with all the salt, it's really good for clearing out your aura as well. So that's everything for this month. I hope it was helpful. It was my pleasure, my honor to always come forward each month and give you some advice and some guidance. If you'd ever like to just stay more in touch with what's going on, like I should be doing a meditation video this month, so to know when that's posted or where it's at, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel or to my newsletter. I'm also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and I'm sure I forgot one. But I'm on all the major social networks, so feel free to click. There'll be a button here and you can find out where I'm at. And if you'd ever like more of one-on-one, I do offer private appointments, and I have more availability in October and November than I usually do, which is good news. So feel free to take a look at my website and book an appointment if you'd like to do that. Last but most important, I just want to say thank you. It's your comments, your likes, and your subscribes every month that really keep me motivated and make this worth all the energy that I put into it. So please keep up all of that. It really does mean a lot. And if you found this really helpful, I'll put a donate button as well, and you can feel free to donate. But that, of course, is completely optional. So take care of yourselves. Have a great month. Enjoy Halloween. And I look forward to seeing everybody again in 1 month's time. Sat Nam, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.